Hey guys, in this video I want to show you how you can take a nice family photo, do a quick edit to it, and then use Lightroom's new subject mask tool to make the background pop out even more. So we'll start with the raw photo here. This is a picture I took during a family session around Christmas time. You can see it looks nice already with a lot of vibrant colors in the green, red, and blue, and then a lot of nice neutrals as well. And there's just really great emotion and energy going on here too, which makes the picture a lot more fun. I'm just going to jump to the edits I've done. Lowered the contrast a little bit, brightened it up, changed a little bit of the colors. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about these, but if you want to pause and look at what I've done, especially on the tone curve and with the HSL sliders. And again, I know this doesn't look perfect yet, but that's kind of the point of this video. We'll be using the subject mask tool to make the background a little bit more warm and vibrant and really stand out. We're going to go up to the masking section, click on the masking tool, and then add a new one and click Select Subject. You can see now that it's done, it's actually done a really good job and really outlined each person pretty clearly. But what we really want to do is now select the invert option here, which is going to reverse the selection and just apply the selection to the background instead of the subjects themselves. A couple things I can notice is that the masking was not perfect. You can see there are some sections of the clothes, and especially in the darker areas of the shadows, where it did not do a good job and it shouldn't have selected these. So what we want to do is actually, within this mask, we're going to add a new layer to it, and it's going to subtract and use the brush tool. Basically what we're going to be doing is just brushing out areas of the mask that we don't want anymore. So you can see there's some masking in the dress right here that I want to remove. Another thing you want to do is make sure you have auto mask turned on. That's going to help avoid going too far over the edges. Now that we have our actual mask pretty well set up, we can start adjusting the sliders in our selection. The first thing I want to do is warm up the background. It was just looking a little bit too cold, kind of made it look too bland. You could also play around with the tint, whether more green or magenta. In this case, I don't think we need to. And again, just to play with the exposure slider here, it's just going to show what we have selected in the mask and what we don't. Sometimes I do this as just a second test to make sure that the mask really looks good. I also want to add a little bit of contrast to the background. It was kind of just looking too flat. So I'm going to add a little bit to the highlights and the whites and bring down the shadows and the blacks. And this really helps you adjust the contrast a lot more finely than just using the contrast slider. You can actually play with certain aspects of the exposure. I also think the background was looking just a little bit bland, so I want to add a little bit of saturation to it. And to kind of help separate them a little bit more, I'm just going to drop the clarity and texture. Not too much, because then it's going to look a little bit obvious and overdone, but if you just drop it about 10 or 20, it's going to just be a little bit subtle and help separate the background. Now that I have the overall background complete, I want to play with the exposure a little bit on the ground in front of them. It helps add almost like a natural vignette. By using a few gradients instead of the actual vignetting option, you can really control where the shadows are going to be coming from and how far in you need them. And then it doesn't apply any of that vignetting to the top of the picture either. I just do this sometimes to help kind of draw your eye in towards the center. And so there you go. The raw photo, and then a quick edit with the sliders, and then with the gradient mask in the background. Hey, if you're still watching, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. If you want to see another cool video, check it out right here. And if you subscribe, I'm going to be having a lot more cool content like this. And if you subscribe, I'm going to have a lot more cool videos like this all throughout the year. So there you go. You have that to look forward to. I don't know what to say now. So I'm just going to let this end. Have a great day. Happy New Year.